Breakfast Show with John Holmes.
Beef sausages upstairs, but they only cook them on one half of them.
Really?
They're not good.
Dangerous. That's fucking illegal, isn't it?
It's illegal. You're listening, by the way, to a discussion about sausages between myself, Matt Dyson, and it's only Noel Gallagher on XFM. Good morning, Noel Gallagher.
Hello there.
How are you?
Very well.
Good. You look well. That's because you haven't eaten any of the sausages. That's why you look well.
Yeah, I'm a bit concerned about the partially cooked sausages that are going around in this building.
You're right to be concerned. You're enjoying a breakfast bar there as well.
Well, this is how this conversation started.
Yeah.
Was I don't really like hippie food, but the lack of sausages in the canteen, that's all there was. Yeah.
Also, that's sealed, so they can't have messed with it. That's it.
No, I know. It's a 9-bar breakfast bar, deliciously moist and chewy. A whole food morning energy bar.
This isn't going to work as an advert, is it, if I'm honest?
I mean, that's not breakfast. That's not breakfast. That's a squirrel's breakfast.
Look, it's good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Last time I saw you was, of course, during your conversation with XFM when we were at the Hammersmith Club.
Yeah, what a great night that was.
What a great night, yeah. Did you enjoy it? Because I
really enjoyed it.
It was like 2.5 hours of just talking, wasn't it?
It was great. I didn't really know. What to expect, but I've got to say, I came off and I was like, "Wow, that was a real good laugh." But no, it was good to see to see Alan, Nancy, and Alan for a few months, and Nikki, and it was great. Yeah,
because Nikki Wine was down there on the sofa as well. And that was good. You two, that was like a double act. That was sort of new sort of launch.
Well, he was reminding. I forgot they came on tour with us on that American tour. When he started saying, I was thinking, "That's right, you were there." I'd forgotten all
the lost
about
years.
It. Yeah, I'd forgotten all about it.
He's among many, of course, he's an enormous fan. That certainly came across, and we know that he is. So
I've always had a soft spot for those lads.
Yeah,
they are genuinely three of the nicest guys you'd ever meet.
Another one of the good guys. Let me run this past you, right? Dave Grohl came in last week, talk about the new album, and I don't know if you've heard. He's been talking about you quite a bit recently.
Was he?
Yeah, he has. Have you not heard this?
Yeah.
So he said, yesterday or 2 days ago, that he'll only. This is what he said. He said he would only play Glastonbury if Prince and Oasis played for a start. That's what he said. And then I'm going to play you a little quote, if that's all right, of something he said. He said this.
The Oasis thing is a shame because I think we all love I love Oasis. And we've played shows with them before where I look at them and I'm like, that's the greatest rock band I've ever seen in my life. To know that they're out there somewhere, but they won't come together to do the thing that everybody loves so much. Yeah. It's like, you assholes. Just do it.
So called an asshole by Dave Grohl there, Noel. I mean, how are you going to take that?
Well, it wouldn't be the first time.
Do you remember playing shows with them though?
When we first went to the States, I think you did those radio tours, and they were on the same. We did a thing of those for months when they were first starting off, and he's great, Dave. What they say about him is true. He's genuinely one of the nicest men. Yeah. In rock, and we've done some big gigs with them down the years. Good lads, all of them. I've got fond memories of hanging out with them, and we knew Taylor in his mad years. This is before he was drinking water all the time, when he was like out of his mind most of the time. He was great, but top guys. What can I say?
So that's a no to Glastonbury, right? Just out of interest.
I'm available that weekend. It's not up to me though, is it?
Not up to you. You and Dave Grohl supergroup. You, Dave Grohl and Prince. That could be
get that on a poster. Amazing, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Let's talk about High Flying Birds, of course. So the new single's out. I'm sure you know we've been playing it. We've been hammering it because we love it. This is the first album you've produced and written. Is that right? In its entirety?
Yeah.
And how have you found? How's that been?
Creatively, it was great. It was very, very easy. I'll tell you what happened. The main difference is this. Is a producer will sit and you'll get to a point in a song and you'll be the vocal on it and the guitars, and your producer will sit there and he's listening to the hi-hats and the frequency of the hi-hats or the bass drum, or there's a squeak in the middle of something. Whereas when I'm listening to it, I just sit there and think, well, I'm a fucking genius. And I'll turn around and say, you're not telling me I'm not going to get a Grammy for this? You fucking maniac. What are you talking about? This is rock and roll Hall of Fame gear, this, mate. To an engineer who's just sitting there thinking, well, whatever you say, boss.
You're paying us.
So a professional producer will sit and pick faults with everything and get it right. I'm just sitting there thinking, why do they always vote Winston Churchill the greatest Briton? That's clearly nonsense. Have you heard this? Has anybody heard this? So that part of it was great. What I found frustrating was managing the sessions, I'd kind of get to a Friday and I'd be going home and my missus would say, "What have you done this week?" And I'd be like, actually, what have I done this week? And of course, there's the temptation in London to always be out. So I was out most of the time. But it was, because when I did my last record in LA, I was there on my own for 4 months. And you kind of focus and you adopt the LA lifestyle. So I came back with the suntan. I was extremely healthy. I felt strong. And this time I kind of finished it. And it's like, oh, God. Thank God it's over. I think I'm going to have a stroke. Teeth are falling out.
The saxophone. You've been talking about saxophone solos.
Yeah.
Which is
there's 3 in the opening track.
Yeah. Yeah. And why? What? Not why.
Why?
But why?
I don't know. It's just the songs required it, I think. The difference between this album and the last one is there's a lot more guitar solos on this. On the last record there was 1. Or maybe 2. Well, we'll say 1 good one. And on this record, there's like 9 out of 10 have got guitar solos in them. So that's the difference. But for the saxophones, I don't know. It's just kind of you get to a bit and there's a break in a song, and that was what was required. And I kind of, would turn and say to my engineer, who's been an associate of mine for 20 years ago, "What about saxophone?" And he'd be like, "Really?" And I'd say, yeah, saxophone. He'd be like, and I'd say, "Look, I'm not talking Careless Whisper shit. I'm talking like,
Spandau.
I'm talking more Pink Floyd here." And, okay, right. And it's a weird situation. The saxophone's one thing. The saxophone player, now that's a whole that's a whole other can of worms you got to open up, on it.
What are they of a type?
The lad that played on my stuff, he's all right.
Yeah.
But if I can get him on tour, that'd be great. But it's if you got to get someone else and they turn up and they look like one of the Blues Brothers. But yeah, mate, look, take the sunglasses off and the pork pie hat and all that. You know what I mean? And the white and the and the suits. This is not happening.
It's not
happening. So that would be. It could be career ending.
It won't be. Let's talk very, very briefly about Russell Brand, because you presented a show last time you were on XFM for any length of time. Was with Russell, of course. And I just wondered what you thought of his strange revolutionary ideas that he's been peddling all over.
Yeah, strange indeed. Yeah. What do I think? I think his heart is in the right place. I think his revolutionary ideals might be as short-lived as his acting career. He's a good lad, Russell, and I love him dearly, like a boyfriend.
Yeah.
But I think he should stand in the election, because it's all right saying the words and all that, and we should do this, should do that, and it's like, okay, but then you're relying on other people to implement all this stuff you're going on about. Why don't you stand? And he said to me, "Would you back me?" And I said, "No, I would back you." So even David Icke's trying to distance himself from me. What are you talking about? And he was saying, "Oh, come on, mate." And I said, "Look, if you make me the Duke of Manchester or the Minister for Music, I'll back you." But he's got a book to sell, hasn't he?
Yeah, yes, yeah. He's doing it quite well.
Which he wrote in his ex-girlfriend's mansion. Right? She lives in like a proper stately home, and I mean servants and all that kind of thing.
Which girlfriend? Is this like
Jemima Two Sugars?
Oh, okay, yeah.
She's the only woman I've ever met in recent memory that has 2 sugars in her tea.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Wow. That's why I call her Jemima Two.
Yeah. We got that.
Yeah, she was round at our house once, and I was like, "Do you want a cup of tea?" Yeah, she's a lovely girl. And do you take sugar? Yes, 2 please. It's like nothing to her. She's like, slim, beautiful woman. And it's like, 2 sugars? Yeah, 2 sugars. And it's like, wow, that's like, what?
I thought she'd be on sweeteners.
No.
You'd think, wouldn't you?
Like stevia stuff.
Yeah,
she'd be on that.
Yeah, 2 sugars. Yeah, Jemima 2 sugars.
Well, there's a scoop of, forget all the Glastonbury stuff.
I thought she should change her name by Depot. Yeah. Never mind Jemima Khan. Jemima 2 sugars.
Listen, Noel, it's been fantastic having you in, as ever.
Very much.
Noel Gallagher on XFM.
Thank you very much.